news.
And we start with some breaking news. Dallas police serving a search warrant on the Catholic Diocese of Dallas. This all related to the sex abuse scandal. Officers are searching 3 locations, the diocese itself in Oaklawn, St. Cecilia's, and a diocese warehouse. Search warrants served on the Catholic Diocese of Dallas, and this, of course, drawing in a lot of attention. The Dallas Diocese, as you can imagine, closed as we come on the air at midday. Now, this search still a very active scene right now at those 3 locations, and Dallas police are expected to speak at any moment. They're getting prepared now. We will be live there at Dallas Police Headquarters, bringing you the latest, all of the updates that you need to know about. But right now, we're joined by Teresa Woodard, who's been following all of this. I mean, since the very beginning, we're talking about decades of abuse allegations.
We are, Demetria, and really, I think that's the important thing for people across Dallas and North Texas to keep in mind is that this is nothing new for the Catholic Diocese. This goes back to the 90s when some of these abuse allegations first popped up. Let's tell you a little bit more about what we know that happened this morning. The search warrant was signed this morning, and it was just about 7 or 7:30 this morning when officers arrived there at the main headquarters of the Dallas Diocese. As you said, it's in Oak Lawn. And we do know that this is tied into the investigation into sexual abuse, and it sounds like Dallas police have just began.
We're going to hear from Major Max Guerin right now.
Just to catch you up, in August of 2018, the Child Exploitation Squad of the Dallas Police Department received information regarding sexual abuse allegations against a priest who previously worked in Dallas by the name of Edmundo Paredes. This information came from the Dallas Catholic Diocese, and the investigation of the allegations led to the issuance of an arrest warrant for Mr. Paredes. Over the last several months, detectives have conducted several interviews with possible victims, witnesses, and suspects, as well as attending multiple meetings with the diocese and their attorneys. In addition to the allegations against Mr. Paredes, detectives are investigating at least 5 additional allegations of child abuse against other suspects. These investigations.
All right, it appears we're having some trouble with our feed there, but of course we'll be bringing the latest from Major Max Guerin there, Dallas Police Department, speaking on the search warrant that was just granted to them by a Dallas County judge to search the Catholic Diocese of Dallas. And Teresa here back again, kind of guiding us through the history and what we've learned so far.
Well, I can tell you it's a 45-page search warrant, and so it took a while for us to go through it. We did try to parse through it a little bit. Let's go back. It sounds like we may have gotten our signal back.
There we go. Into each allegation, independent of any other entity, to ensure that each victim has a voice within the legal system. Our detectives have worked and continue to work thoroughly and very hard, combing through the records, obtaining statements, and doing a thorough job to make this happen. Additionally, we want to thank those who have come forward with information in these cases, and we would encourage anyone with additional information related to this or any other case of child abuse to contact the Dallas Police Department's Child Exploitation Squad at 214-671-4211. I will take some questions now.
Max, this is highly unusual for the police department to raid the Catholic Diocese. So did you not believe that they had turned over all of their files? Why did you guys decide to raid? Because they had said that they were cooperating.
So in looking through all of the investigations, we're in the business of obtaining and executing search warrants in furtherance of criminal investigations. This was a logical step in the process for these allegations.
Major, has the diocese cooperated?
Again, we have had a number of meetings with them, characterizing that at varying degrees of cooperation. You could do that, but again, I'll reiterate that we believed at this point that the execution of the warrants was wholly appropriate for the furtherance of the investigation.
Are the people priests who are under investigation?
I'm not going to get into the potential identity of any victims, or any suspects or any victims. These were evidentiary search warrants. No arrests were made today. As a result, this is a natural progression of the investigation.
All locations where they were executed besides from the location on the corn?
So there were 3 locations that we executed search warrant. One, you're aware of, the Catholic Diocese headquarters, 3700 block of Blackburn Street. A storage location in the 4600 block of West Ledbetter Drive. And the offices at the St. Cecilia Church in the 1800 block of West Davis.
Major, do you expect any arrests today?
Not today.
Major, can you clarify the 5 allegations that are now related to other suspects? Are these from the list of those who were dead already, or these new ones that, the list that the Catholic Diocese released, many of those people on that list were dead. Are these allegations related to people who may still be alive?
It's safe to characterize that, but I won't go any further in working to identify who the suspects and or victims might be.
What information is being looked at today at those 3 locations? What are you guys looking for?
So again, to reiterate, we're looking for any documentation, any data that would tend to further the investigation into these allegations of child abuse.
Do you think that obviously there are many more victims out there who just haven't come forward or just haven't wanted to cooperate, or did the Catholic Church pay off?
I have no way of knowing the number of victims, and again, I would highly encourage anyone with information, anyone who might have been a victim, to contact us and give us the opportunity to investigate.
Last question.
Major, are these recent allegations? How far back do these accusations go?
So I won't characterize or even address the time frame for the allegations of when those offenses might have occurred, but I will say that they are new allegations that became apparent to us, that were made to us following the announcement of the charges against Mr. Perez.
Can you just
Thank you.
Could you just state again the location of the storage room? What street was it? 4600 block of 1?
Brief there with the Dallas Police Conference right there. We are hearing from Major Max Guerin, Dallas Police Department, serving a warrant to search the Catholic Diocese of Dallas. This was just signed by a Dallas County judge. Teresa's here kind of guiding us through the background. We know back in January, 31 priests were accused of abuse. But this goes back decades. As you were saying, Teresa, this is nothing new.
No, and that list of the 31 priests stretched back to anybody who had been what the church calls credibly accused since the 1960s.
Wow.
And so there were several people on that list who have either passed away, who have been stripped of their religious abilities, or are actually in prison. I want to kind of break apart what we just heard from the Dallas Police Department.
Let's get into it.
From Major Guerin, I think the overarching theme was we're just looking for files. We're just looking for documents. We're looking for data. You heard our Rebecca Lopez ask the question, why did you do this? And he says, well, it's a logical step in the process. You heard our Jason Whiteley ask if the Catholic Church has been cooperative. And Major Guerin's answer to that question is we've had varying degrees of cooperation. Okay, now let's get into what the 45-page search warrant says that was signed this morning. That's sort of the reason why a judge said, yes, you can go into the diocese and these 2 other locations and actually investigate.
Because it's not easy to go search a church.
Correct. Again, it's 45 pages, so it takes a while to go through it. But here's the overarching theme. Dallas police are questioning the church's tendency to try to investigate itself, questioning the credibility of those that they have brought in to investigate. I did want to show you a couple of quick things that we noted that are inside of that search warrant. If we have those quotes pulled up, maybe we can do that quickly. This is one bullet point that is listed in the search warrant. It says, quote, this is written by a Dallas police investigator. I have similar concerns about the Diocesan Review Board's members' potential bias and lack of expertise. Police are expected to trust all information provided to them is accurate and complete despite evidence to the contrary. This is important because they are questioning whether the information being provided to them from the Catholic Diocese is actually whole.
Incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
They go on to say police received unofficial requests to investigate priests not deemed credibly accused. That reveals a lack of confidence in the established vetting process or a knowledge that the process has failed. So again, this is a police officer questioning whether the diocese should be trusted to investigate itself. One more instance that was provided in the search warrant. Previously in this affidavit, I identified 5 priests and detailed allegations of child sexual abuse made against them. In some instances, those accused priests admitted to their criminal conduct. Despite assurances from the diocese attorneys, the priest files were complete and accurate. I detailed specific examples where those files were not complete and accurate. Additionally, my efforts to receive claimant files which likely contain relevant material regarding child sexual abuse allegations were thwarted. So clearly that is the Dallas Police Department saying we are trying to investigate some of these cases may go back for decades, and that's what happens is these abuse victims maybe don't feel comfortable coming forward right away, but when they finally feel comfortable coming forward, the Dallas Police Department will investigate, and they're basically saying we're not sure that we're getting all of the information that we deserve, all of the information that the diocese has, and accurate information as well. This is something that we've heard from victims of church sexual abuse for a long time.
It's extremely concerning.
It is
extremely concerning. And,
It is.
as Max Guerin was telling us, Major Max Guerin, Amendo Paredes has been
Yes.
arrested. Yeah, and right now they've been
Actually,
conducting.
there's a warrant out for his
A warrant for his
but
arrest.
He has left the country.
He's left
they
the
believe.
country.
He's disappeared.
Excuse me, a warrant issued for his arrest.
Yeah.
Right now, they've been conducting interviews, witnesses, suspects, potential victims, and they've got 5 additional suspects, but they have not named anyone. Very hesitant in that interview to do that, Major Max Guerin there. But I think about the climate right now, and if we just rewind things to last week, Pope Francis really cracking down on sex abuse within the Catholic Church, saying that if you do not report, if you attempt to cover up these crimes, that is a crime.
Correct.
Focused on the clergy, nuns alike, I mean thousands of people here finally being held accountable, it would seem.
Yeah, well, and I think there's going to be a lot of victims out there who say this is great to see this today, but where were you 25 or 30 years ago? Or even 5 years ago?
And that's a great question. I know a lot of people are working to kind of fix those wrongs, but we have to ask ourselves, I mean, too late for some, or maybe just on time for many. Thank you so much, Teresa. And of course, we've got the